Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser, and you're welcome to the program HerLens. So we discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. All right. So yes, of course, this is where we get to, talk about topical issues. We discuss, dissect, and disagree on these issues right here on Her Lens. And I hope that your day is starting off well. Today is Tuesday, the 24th day in March 2026. Likely, the first quarter of this year. You don't come past, so no, you never finish, yeah. Just a few days, and we'll get to see the end of this month, and the first quarter is gone. So I hope that a lot of the plannings and all of the things we need to put in place, we are we have already designed all of that, and it's just implementation that remains. So yeah, I'm just hoping that we're able to do all of that. All right, so this morning with me, yesterday I had Susan and Ibinabo on the show. Today I have Buki Femi Ajala. Good morning, Buki. How are you today? It's good to have you join us this week.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. And how is our Lens family? How are you doing? Apologies for yesterday. I think I'd mentioned it on Friday that I and my team members will be with our mentor, the former governor of Akwa Governor Atta.
Oh, that was
so yeah. So we had a lovely time with him yesterday. He reeling out all the experiences, and I actually told him that I was at Akwa Ibom about 2 or 3 years ago, and I decided to go. At times you just want to feel the city. So I didn't want to go with anything except Kakemaru. I wanted to feel, down at, So we got talking, and I was saying, oh, you have good roads, you have this, you have that. Okay. That means your governor is working. And I was amazed. He said, no, it's Atta. Atta started it. Atta did this, Atta did that, So, and then, of course, reading about him, how he was able to be, to execute things, I mean, we got a whole lot of experience and leadership lessons, It wasn't the how will I put it now? In terms of being on the same plane with the center, he's from PDP and all that. So how he was able to go through it, even when the funds were not enough, how was he able to execute those projects? And he told us about the story he had, an experience he had when he was very young. The father left him and the brother with the house help, and the house help had, the money, to take care of them. And before you know what was happening, the house help went away with the money, leaving him and the brother.
Wow.
So he had to wise up. I think he said he was around 12. He was 12 years old or whatever. That, okay, how do I survive? And in those days, it's not the days of GSM. There was just no means of communication. So you remembered that, at that time, curry and all that. So he had to buy meat, spice it, make it in a way that he could sell. So he was selling the motor pack. And that was how he and his brother survived, for 3 months before the man came back. The man was moving from one place to another place, working with more plantation, more this and all that and all that. So that stuck with him that, okay, if I'm not getting money from the center, there are many ways of we getting it. You understand? So we had a whole lot sitting down with him and just learning from his wealth of experience. So that was what took me out yesterday. And of course, I've just told you something today, so no problem now. So
That's so.
Me, I like stories.
All right. Thank you so much, Buki, for giving us
thank you.
For giving us a breakdown of how it went with your mentor. So it's always good to have somebody you're looking up to, somebody who knows that, somebody who inspires you, especially in your line of work or in life generally, because you get to pick lifelong lessons from, these individuals. I just hope that we're able to, it is one thing to say you have a mentor, and it's another thing to have a mentor that would actually, pave way or give you a good example to follow. Because you could just wake up and say anybody's your mentor, but waiting the person they do for you, waiting what's that change the person is bringing to you, and how is this person affecting your future? So all of these plenty questions are things that we to ask ourselves. So you don't go and carry somebody that at the end of the day it can mentor you into darkness.
Will be a
Comment
tormentor.
exactly, commentor to commentor. It could just mentor you, they carry you go where you don't know. So yeah, and we also have to aspire to be mentors to other people. Sometimes you don't even know that you're somebody's mentor. Go even know self. The person could just
Absolutely.
watch your life as your life is
Mm,
going. Just keep watching your life progressions, and the person is just picking one or two things from there until one day, maybe if something make una meet, because you're my mentor, I've been following you right from. So you see, so there's no room for all of us to be behaving anyhow because you just never can
mm.
tell. All right, thank you so much, Buki, for that. It's showing all over you that it was a good experience for you. All right,
And then we had lunch together. I enjoyed myself. So I was tired when I came home. Just for me to come back home and hear about another bad news. We lost somebody in a house fellowship.
Mm.
He's an asthmatic patient, and he had actually been living with it, and he actually came back from Canada, to see his son, and everything was okay. But
Oh,
do you know what happened? I don't want to say Nigeria happened to him. I want to see Nigeria, when they say Nigeria happened to you, on a good light, and that's it. They were going, and then they had a tire burst, and then of course they parked, and they said, okay, we need to go fix the tire somewhere, and then they couldn't get it there, so they had to go somewhere. And where they had where they were now, where they went to now, was close to a place where they were spraying cars.
oh,
And before you know what was happening, I don't know the gas or whatever it is, the
mm,
thing just, when you say Dabaru, the man's breathing system, this is a man that had been living over 30 years, with it, because the wife said, yes, this man is asthmatic, but it's not that terrible one. I mean, that she got to know even before they got married. And the man, even when you wouldn't know,
it's a man.
there was no attack, but he carries his this thing, no attack and all that, I don't know what the gas is and whatever it is. It just tabarooed the whole thing. They had to bring him here to somewhere in Aripo here, and then from there they said, they have to take it to a specialist hospital. All this happened within 10 days. So they had to take him to Babcock, and before you know what is happening, pam. So just getting back yesterday just to hear that sad news, you know. So it's another discussion for another time. Talking about asthmatic patients and things like that. So, but I celebrate this man. Even in death, he was a great man. He was a great man. Yeah. I can't mention his name because not many people know about his death, yes, but he was a very great man. Yeah.
So sorry about this, Buki. It's just unfortunate, some of the things that we get to talk about here, because at the end of the
Mm.
pollution, I ain't cause all this one. I ain't go trigger something.
I'm telling you.
Pollution, I ain't go trigger something. Anyway, it's well. Nigeria will definitely get better. We'll get it right.
Mm.
Sorry about that, Buki. All right, Binabo, let's hear from you. How are you today? How is your day starting up? You're muted.
Ah, what a news. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Lady Rose. Good morning, Lady Book Faye. Good morning, Lady Susan. Good morning to all our let's great to be here. Ah, Bookie, I'm so sorry. That is not be the we gonna help us.
Yeah.
And I mean we should really talk about pollution sometimes. There is so much pollution that we're not even paying attention. Even if it wasn't car spray, paint spray, or whatever it was, there's pollution everywhere. People are dying slowly. There are so many things going on that you You don't even know where to start. And you make you wonder, where are the environment people, the Ministry of Environment, both the ministry and the ministers and the commissioners and all of that. It's another story for another day, though. And and I'm sure we all have a lot to talk about concerning pollution at various layers and all of that. So yeah, it's been fine. It's been good. We have been keeping it together. Nigeria is not funny, especially what electricity is saying. It's not funny, when you spend so much to make sure that you are comfortable in your home, people around you are comfortable. It's not funny. It's so expensive, and then I hope that something is done, because the poor set of electricity supply is at this point is almost unprecedented, because I mean, with the weather and everything, it's terrible. I hope that something is done quickly before people just go crazy and hit the road and make a lot of noise. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bina Boy. It's good to have you join us, and good to see you too this morning. Hi, Suzanne. How are you today?
Good
Hi,
morning, Rose.
good
I'm doing
morning.
great. Good morning, Mambuki. Good morning, Mami Blabo. Mambuki, it's good to have you back. It's good to see your lovely face.
All right, it's good to see all three of you join me this morning on Her Lens. Yeah, you can be a part of it by sending us WhatsApp messages to 07031756537. All right, quickly, let's head on to one of the things that we'll be talking about today. Now, over the weekend, I saw a video of a lady who came out to lament some of the things that she was going through in her home. And I'm just trying to open the video now, and I'm seeing that the video, has been removed. Maybe the lady has deleted it because of how heavy that feels like. I don't. I'm hoping that Madam Binabo and Susan were able to watch it. I don't know if Buki, because Buki, I don't, because I
No,
posted
I didn't, because it was taking me to different places, so I
yeah,
knew they have
yeah,
removed it. But it's fine.
yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll
So,
talk about it.
this young lady who is just about 20 or 21, if I'm not mistaken, comes out, and she was talking about the burden of staying with separated parents. And one of the things that she said was, on the caption of the video was like, if you didn't love yourselves, why did you get married in the first place? Or something like that. You shouldn't have gotten married if you didn't love yourselves. So apparently her parents are separated, or maybe divorced, because the mother stays somewhere else with one of her sisters, and she stays with her dad. And then the younger sister is still in school. So she finished school, waiting for to be mobilized, and then she comes back home and she's trying to figure out something for herself. And then all of a sudden, her father brings home her step sister who gives birth. And this is a young lady who's trying to figure out her life. She, according to her, she's not one that likes cooking or doing a lot of, chores and all of that. She just wants to face her life, try to figure out something. So she has one small, business that she's doing, that warrants her to shoot videos and all of that. So, now the father and the stepsister and the even the how rigorous it can be when a lady gives birth. She needs people around. All right. So now, instead of the father to get the mother of the stepsister to take care of her, no, he didn't do so. He brought her back home to for the junior sister, to take care of the baby and this newborn. So it was a lot for her. All right. And the father is always having this, oh, don't go and see your mom. Your mom will poison you. You want to go and see your mom because you know that your mom will tell you things. So she narrated one of the experience of her leaving home after doing the things she needed to do. She left home. That's after cooking, cleaning and all of that. She left. She told her sister who gave birth that she was going to see her mom. And then she left. So when she came back, the dad started asking the question, where did you go to? And all of that. And she narrated to the dad, oh, I went to see my mom. And before you know, dad started insulting her. Now, this is a lady who said that she can count. I don't know whether she said she can't count, or she can count how many times her dad said, God bless you, or, for thank you or something like that, or just nice words to her. But she cannot count how many times her father has always insulted her, has always abused her, and said all the negative things to her. So this is a young lady who is not feeling appreciated, who is feeling like her dad does not love her. And at the same time, she goes to her mom, and her mom will keep telling her, oh, respect your father, or whatever he does to you, or don't say anything. And then, and to cap it all, this man is a pastor in a popular church that we know. And he goes on and he's saying all the things that you should do, but when he comes back home, he's not reciprocating that. And then she said, oh, she was going back to the church, she was going to report the case to the church so that the church will know the kind of person he is and all of that. So it's just, it's a lot. I'm sure there are some things that I'm not even saying, or that I can't remember at the top of my head. There's it just brings us back to the effect of a broken home on children. Because yeah, they must have been separated for some time, but there is always the mother and the father side. Whatever happened between them, we don't know, but this is a young lady who is not being given the chance to make something out for herself. She doesn't like cooking, but she has found herself to cook. And the father is somebody, in fact, he has insulted her of stealing money. Bring money, let us buy food in bulk and keep in the house. You say no. She's the one that wants to steal his money. So she finds herself every day going out to buy palm oil, come back, go out, go and buy this one, come back, and then put all these things together and cook. So it's quite a lot. So I just want us to look at the weight of broken homes on young children, and how this gets to affect them as they grow, and how this could actually make them to resent their parents. And also, with all of this, it could be a heavy burden. It just could be a heavy burden. And I know that there are a lot of young women, a lot of young men who are carrying this burden all around. And they just, and that could actually just tell a lot on them. So I'll just want us to talk about that before we head on to the next. And so Ibn, I'll start with you on this. I want to believe you saw the video before it was taken out, because it was a lot. The lady was even crying at some point and speaking and saying she couldn't take it, she would go and report the father and all. So Ibn, let's start with you on this. Let's have your thoughts on this and what you really want us to pick from that video. I want to believe that you saw it before it was taken down.
Yeah, okay. So it wasn't funny. I saw a very pained young lady. I saw a very frustrated young lady. I saw a lady who was gasping for breath in terms of surviving her her relationship with her father, her mother, and all. And also, I would like to mention the part where she said each time she went to her mother to report her father and everything, and the mother would just scold her, tell her to be of good behavior. And that speaks volume of who the mother is, who the kind of person she is. Because what is mostly obtainable is that when parents are divorced, each parent would want to paint a very ugly picture of the other, as if it's your mom, then the mom would your dad, you understand. But having a mother who would always caution you to respect your father, to behave properly, and all of that. I mean, those are very, very, rare cases, and that tells me a lot. I'm deducing from that the father probably wasn't a patient and understanding person. Probably one of the reasons why the woman had to leave, and now is making the young lady go through what her mother went through. Very unfair. It is unfair because we need to allow children to grow. Let them grow. She's 23, according to what she said. Her next birthday, she'll be 23. And already she's saddled with so much. She's not even married. She's taking responsibility, even for an older sibling, which I'm totally
uncomfortable with. I know what it means for a woman to give birth. I know what it means for a woman who has just given birth to need help. So for a 22-year-old lady to be the one taking care of a new mom, that is a lot of responsibility. She has to take care of the new mom, take care of her father, and of course think about our own problems. It is very sad. I know that yes, when there is a divorce, there are families where yes, you cannot completely bridge that gap, cannot completely cover the lacuna that a divorce creates. But then when you have certain kind of parents with certain kind of mindsets, there is a way they deal with themselves that the way divorce affects children will be highly minimal. But here is a family where the man doesn't even want, the father doesn't even want her to visit her mom. Anytime she had to visit the mom, he was always very angry and all of that. And here is the mother who would always give a proper advice to the girl on how to behave herself, how to respect her father, and all of that. So you see, in life, I see that some people are very narcissistic and they won't admit it. Some people are always feeling that they are off, they are above and beyond being scolded or being corrected, and they become a problem to whoever is with them. I just want to appeal that for whatever reason that the girl has brought down this video, I'm sure she brought it down. I want to believe she brought it down. What she's going through at this point. I don't know how much they are scolding her for doing what she did, but I want them to understand that she did it out of frustration. Because she was, you would see it all over her. She was desperate.
Yeah.
She was looking for help, for where to release all the pains in her. She wanted to share. She would tell herself, if I go to my mother now, I will tell her what is making me unhappy. She will tell me, go and respect your father, go and listen to him, go and obey him, and all of that. And let us not forget that she's just 22. She still has a long way to go. Some of us who are above and beyond that age, we still make our mistakes. We still try to make amends. We still feel that, okay, this thing I'm doing is right, please leave me alone. Let alone a young lady of that age. I want to pray or beg parents that even when there is separation, I know it's not easy because even the parents, they are hurting. It's painful. I mean, you didn't get married to divorce. You probably got married till death do you part and all of that. And now you are divorced and everything. And then you are in pains. You are desperately looking for support. You are looking for your children to support you. Your spouse wants the children to support him. And it's like a competition. And at the end of the day, some children will cash in on this and begin to, when they are with the mother, they will do some things. When they will do some things. In fact, in some cases, some children will be demanding for the same money, the same thing from the two parents because maybe they don't talk. So daddy will not know. Daddy will give me this. Mommy will not know. Mommy will give me that. So the bottom line is, I'm not saying anybody should stay in a toxic relationship because you have children, but we need to manage that separation properly as it pertains to the children. We need to handle it properly. Leading with parents, especially fathers, who could sometimes be overbearing. Take it with your children because they will run away. As she's a girl child, if she gets pressure to a point, she might want to leave the house. And her mom will say, oh, you can't come to me, go back to your father. And then she will just look at herself and the next available guy, she will just run to him because she's looking for kind words. She's looking for attention. She's looking for a lot of things. And she's not getting from father. And her mother is always saying, your father is right, stay with him, respect him. So she would probably get it from a lying tongue of a guy who would just tell her sweet things and then use her and then dump her later on. So it's not easy, I know, but parents, let's just be mindful. Let's be mindful. Let's try to manage that separation properly as it pertains to the children, please. It's not easy. It's not easy. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ibinabo, for taking us through, your thought process as regards this issue. All right, do want to be a part of it by dialing on 7,917,917 at WhatsApp messages is 07031756537 or 08155917917. Let's get to hear from you this morning on this particular issue that we're looking at today. Some of the pressures of separation on children, how heavy this burden could be. Now, this probably happened when she was much younger, but now she is an adult. Let me say young adult, and she is, finding it hard to just navigate her way through because the whole thing just seemed like it's clogged for her. She can't find her way through all of the happenings, going on. So it's like they're stealing her away, her joy, stealing, her time, her future, and all of that. But hey, sometimes not sometimes, we always need to talk about this because we might not even understand to what extent this has gone. All right, Susan, let's get to hear from you. What's your thoughts on the video and how do you think we can make things better or maybe live life a better way so that we don't end up affecting our children that we are trusting and hoping that they're the leaders of tomorrow? Because this man now is the same Bible that said, do not provoke your children. But this man is pushing this young lady to the wall and is provoking her to the extent that she's now pushing back and thinking in her mind what she can do to actually hurt him. So I mean, let's get your thoughts on this, Susan.
Thank you. I didn't watch the video to
Yeah.
start with, but I have a background understanding based on the conversation so far. And for me, as a person, I have always been an advocate of live to live. But even as you live, that is LEVE to LIVE. Even as you live to live, you have to also weigh the pros and the cons. What do I mean? The children in the family. The husband is, I don't know what I would say about the man, because hearing he's a pastor, which means he's a spiritual leader who should know better. Treating his
Hi,
daughter
Susan.
that
Yeah.
way. Is it because the mother is not there? Even that particular girl cannot handle.
Susan. Yeah.
Even that particular girl cannot handle a newborn. She can't handle a newborn. I mean, so how do you bring in her stepsister for her to cater to? Who does that? You see, let's call a spade, and parents should be accountable when they go wrong. That man is all shades of wrong. We've not heard his own version, but the fact that he could bring in his stepdaughter, no, he did not do well. And the fact that, I mean, she goes to her mom and you're abusing her. Are you kidding me? That is a wrong signal, my dear sister. I don't know.
All right. Hold that thought, Susan. Let's put this. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kosegamo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Something like this has not happened to you. You just have to talk from the standpoint. Even if you're talking from other people's experiences, you can't understand what this person is talking about. I mean, Tinubu has said something this morning, but I want to talk from the angle of someone who has experienced firsthand separation between mom and dad. So I think I was about 3 separated. And growing up, secondary school, I would want to go and know my dad. Even if my dad was a big man, he was crippled. I just want to know him, even if it was part of my life. Because it was the white man who was like president. So I said, I just want to know this man. If he's alive, if he's not alive. My mom has a house in Tokyo, somewhere in the Ikorodu. That is the end. So, like, she would just literally be saying me. I thought I want to stay with my dad. I just want to name, put a name to the face. This is who my dad is. In case I meet him on the road, I don't even know who he is. The end is the children. I know my mom separated from my dad because my dad was always beating her and everything. And she needed to leave. And she took me as my younger sister. And that sister died in the process. Now, I tried to say, yeah. I think we should focus on the children. I eventually got to know my dad, but the same year I got to know my dad died. Mom took me. I got to know him. He took me to the village. Not for that trip. I wouldn't have known my origin. I wouldn't have known my village. Because my mom did not. So he didn't even know the village. So my dad's younger brother that trip. And I got to know my dad. He died that same year. And that was just it. I know the shade about that my stepmom showed me. But what am I going to? He's separated from my dad. He will be a bad husband to you. Doesn't mean he's a bad father to the children. So he has his negative side. But please don't extend the hatred, the vow, the feel to the children, because we are receiving end at the end of the day. I look at it and ask myself, thank God I eventually went to know, gave birth to me. If I have gone maybe this year, that dog died, you don't even know your papa. So the next question is going through this and forth. Now I see myself, marry myself, come born me. I wasn't there in your space. So I totally understand that you guys have whatever it is going on for you. But I am saying, don't let whatever you feel, the hatred you feel, spill down to us, because that can deform a child for life. I had to get to a point in my life I told myself, it is time for me to have a paradigm shift, calibrated mindset, not to be in that space where they want me to be. Most people cannot come to that place. I said my mom disowned me. I mean she disowned me. Even after my father's death, I was sleeping up and down. It was later when people began to tell her that this is your only daughter. As the you have with the white man. We cry like that. That's when my mom said, okay, yes, you can now come back home. So that gives. If people are listening this morning, I know what she passed through because my daddy will beat her, throw the key under the bed. She'll be struggling to get the key. My dad will keep pummeling her. So she was leaving. I understand. But don't severe relationships between the children and their parents. Because at the end of the day, I have a part in my father, part in my mother. How do we balance this thing up? How do we balance this thing up? Even if you're cleaving to live, you're living to cleave. Even if you're living to live, remember, there's a child in between the two of you. I suffered what I shouldn't have suffered as a child. And that is what I'm saying. I can empathize with this lady.
For calling, and she was just giving her own experience. Coming from a separated home and what she had to go through with her mom, what she had to, endure. At some point, she said she had to go and look for who her dad was, no matter what he was, or no matter how he was living his life. She just wanted to know him because there were frustrations that were being poured on her as a young girl that was living. So at the end of the day, she's just trying to say that um yes, you might be separated now know where una meet now know how to take separate, but don't pour all of those frustration on your children because they are innocent of it. Nothing concern them. Two of you met, two of you brought them to this world, and then things didn't work out, and you're looking at the product of that relationship as a reminder of, well, maybe what you've lost, or the years you've lost, or the suffer that you're suffering, and then you just pour all of that frustration on the child. So that's just what she's pointing out. And sometimes it doesn't end well. Not sometimes, a lot of times it doesn't end well for the children that find themselves in between such. All right, so that's just what Mrs. Oboli called and was just pointing out. All right, Susan, just go ahead. Let's hear from you quickly.
Okay, so in rounding off, Mrs. Oboli, hugs from me to you, very tight one, very tight hugs for you. I see you, I celebrate you, and it's a strong place to be able to share your story. It's not very easy for people to share their stories. And I want to say that, yes, I totally agree with you. Even if you want to leave, don't severe relationship. That's why for this man, I'm wondering, why would your child visit her mom and you begin to abuse her? You begin to lay curses on her. Why? It is wrong. It is wrong. I mean, you have children, and someone who studied genetic counseling at some point, I know that every child is 50% mom, 50% dad. That is what it is. So there is no way you are going to, remove or isolate that child. Even abroad, they do co-parenting, even when they divorce. So the child
Mm-hmm.
is able to have time with their father. She mentioned about cripple. The right word is physical disability, because if you say cripple, it means that a beautiful Susan like me is cripple. No. So it's a person with a physical disability, no matter who that person is. As long as you have a child with the person, treat them kindly, respect them. You don't need to throw them under the bus. You don't need to make your children dislike their mother or their father. What this man did is all shades of wrong. One, allowing a young lady who has not given birth take care of another person's child. I mean, and then, ask whenever she goes to see her mom, you're using her and all of that. And these things are still happening. And that is why at Women Radio, we're trying to raise the awareness. If you're separated from your spouse, please do not speak ill of them. They are still human beings. You were once in love. You were once head over heels over this person, which made you even, sleep with them to impregnate them in the first instance. So please respect boundaries. You have your reasons why you separated from them, and that's fine. But do not separate them, because what you are creating is another generation of traumatized youths,
Yes.
youths that are coming up who are afraid of relationship, who see everybody like their father figure, like their mother figure. And so each day they handle relationships, friendship, in a very ugly manner, which is not supposed to be. You don't need to transfer aggression. Whatever separated you and your spouse has nothing to do with your children. That is why you should play your role as a father, play your role as a mother, and please let the children be. You can go on to marry another person, but do not throw your partner under the bus. We will not exhaust this if we go on and on, but please, I'd like to stop here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you so much for your thoughts this morning. All right. This is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's about 13 minutes to 10 on this side of the radio. All right. I'll come to you, Buki. Just wrap up these conversations for us. Um, you've heard from Binabo, you've heard from Susan, and of course, even Mrs. Oboli sharing her experience to the extent that she had to leave her mom's home. And it took other people to intervene before her mom would even tell her, "Oh yeah, come back home." So that means she actually went through a lot. So you can imagine, what separation and divorce does to children, making them carry a whole lot of load, and especially maybe for the firstborns. You see that now them go now sit down now, take up responsibilities where they never even reach here and there. So, so let's get to hear, your thoughts on this and wrap this conversation up for us.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me because at some
Loud and
point I
clear.
had a net glitch. Yeah, I have experienced someone close, in that kind of situation. We're very, very close, and more often than not, they do these things as a way of calming themselves down, if I can use that word, like a false support framework. And they are also saying these things out of anger.
Hmm.
My advice is that we need to get to a point where when people are going through issues, we should offer them proper counseling. They don't know what they are doing. I will be honest. They don't know what they are doing. They feel what they are doing is right. After all, this man hurt me. So the best way I know how to do is let me hurt her back. It's only those who are able to more matured, and possibly they've also seen the other side of life, that coworte, kini coworte, you know. Those are the kind of people that will offer, the right advice. Like the mother was saying, respect him and all that. But in his own case, he's still going through his own trauma. That's the truth. He's still going through his own trauma. Yes, he might be a pastor. Pastors are human beings. Pastors are human beings. And that's why even today there is a whole lot of advocacy even around mental health of pastors. We've seen pastors that will just blow their head off, pastors that are not balanced, and you say, but but are they not human beings? You understand? It's another discussion for another day. But let's just look at the human aspect. This is my own advice to anybody who is listening. Even before, when you want to rate, honestly, I will advise you to just both of you sit down with a counselor, a therapist, and talk about how you are going to raise healthy children, balanced children. Because now, from this story now, that lady, if care is not taken, she's going to go with a lot of hurtful baggages, except
Yeah.
if the husband understands and he's able to cope with her. Right. So let's understand these things, that many a times they don't know what they are doing, right? But we know, we should step in to help them, give them right counsel, and also let them subject themselves to proper therapy, which is the healing of the mind. So you begin to reason like a reasonable person. And at the end of the day, the society is safe for people to live in. That's just what I want to chip in from from my own angle, and
Yes.
lacing it with what everybody has said, Ibinabo and Susan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Buki for your thoughts on this. I just hope that we get to do better because children, as far as they're concerned, they are innocent. So is what we make them go through, or is what we put in them that we later see it manifesting. All right, go ahead. Let's get to hear you quickly before we call it a day. Binabo.
Okay, thank you. I just want to advise parents, especially, because of the patriarchal nature of our society and all of that. Mostly, you get the man, making it a bit difficult for the children and all of that, especially if they still want to always be with their mom and all of that. And there's this touch of jealousy, which they will never admit to, but you feel it in their action. I just want to appeal to you have to understand as a father, or let me say let me not focus on one parent. Let me generalize it to parents. You have to accept the fact that you are not always right. you are never always right. Sometimes you are acting from a place of sitting on the fence or defending yourself. So you're not seeing the point this child is making. And then I want to also advise that you practice or you empathize with these children, because what you are feeling is different from what they are feeling. They are missing the other parent. They are missing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And if you don't empathize, you are going to be perceived as inconsiderate, irrespective of whatever it is you are going through in your mind. And then you see, there is something that I'm telling myself to and every other parent out there. We need to learn to apologize to our children.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it takes you to admit that you have done wrong to this child for you to apologize. We need to apologize to our children when we feel that, okay, this child is pained and this child is this and that. You can apologize to the child. Doesn't mean you're no longer a parent, and you have to take responsibility for your actions. Whatever you have done to this child, take responsibility. It helps a whole lot. Like this man in this story, it would be good if he brings this girl, but yes, she has gone to the social media. You are going to embarrass me. You are going to disgrace me, this and that. See, Yoruba people say, there is nothing new under the sun. She didn't come out to call you out as a thief. She didn't say, oh, this my friend as a pastor is impregnating all the ladies in the church. No, those are very disgraceful actions. But she's just looking for help. She's seeking for help. She's seeking for someone to pacify her soul that is troubled. So advise this father to do is to calm down, take it easy, and bring this girl closer. Let her understand that, look, I love you, but it doesn't mean I will not scold you. If responsibilities are placed on you is so heavy, I'm sorry. I didn't see it that way, because let me tell you one thing. There is something parents, you have a parent too. When a particular child is very available, we tend to overflog that opportunity.
Okay.
Other people be there resting, relaxing. This one, that if you call him or her once, he's responding or she's responding 10 times. That is one who will saddle with all the responsibilities in running the home. So as parents, and part of it, we need to learn not to do that.
All right.
Please,
All right.
so that they will not carry a burden and pass it to another young person who's going to be the spouse, and then they become another issue in their homes and all of that. Let's take it easy. It's not easy. I promise you, it's not funny, but we need to come to terms with the fact that we have to begin to consider the other person's feelings.
All right. Thank you so much, for our time is fast spent. So just keep it at this for today. Tomorrow is another day. We'll be back here, God's willing, to take you on HerLens. My name is Rose Yusuf Kensel. Thank you so much, ladies, for being a part of the program today. To each and every one of you who tuned in to listen, to Mrs. Oboli, thank you for turning out to be this person, despite all that you went through. All right, so do you want to stay with us right here on Women Radio WFM 91.9?